The cold didn't just wound soldiers in World War II, it hunted them. It crept into boots, stiffened toes, and, silently claimed more fighting men than bullets in some campaigns. And buried in that frozen misery was a simple, almost laughable trick that kept feet alive when temperatures plunged far below mercy. No gadgets, no tech, just field-born wisdom forged under fire. This is a war-tested survival secret that still works today. When cold became the real enemy, winter warfare in World War II was brutal in a way modern minds struggle to grasp. Steel froze to skin, rifles seized. Men slept in snow with boots still on because taking them off meant never getting them back on. Frostbite wasn't rare. It was expected. The mistake that killed toes. Early in the war, most armies made the same deadly assumption. More socks meant more warmth. Tight boots meant sealed heat. Soldiers crammed extra layers into their footwear, pulled laces tight, and tried to lock warmth in. That mistake cost thousands of toes. The strange solution nobody expected. Somewhere between field hospitals and frozen foxholes, an old trick resurfaced. It wasn't invented in World War II. It was rediscovered. A method older than modern armies, passed down from trappers, explorers, and men who lived outdoors before insulation had brand names. The secret was dry insulation that could breathe and be replaced instantly. The answer was paper. Soldiers began stuffing loose, crumpled newspaper inside their boots, not as padding but as a moisture barrier and heat trap. The paper absorbed sweat before it soaked socks. It created tiny air pockets that held warmth, and when it got wet it could be removed and replaced in seconds. No sewing, no supplies chain, just paper and common sense. Why did paper beat wool? Wool was warm, sure, but once it got soaked, it betrayed you. Paper, on the other hand, behaved differently. It wicked moisture away from the skin without clinging. It dried faster, weighed almost nothing, and most importantly, it allowed boots to remain loose. There's this popular belief that World War II soldiers coated their feet in grease or oil to stop frostbite. While oils were sometimes used in really extreme conditions, they weren't the miracle solution people imagine. Grease could actually soften skin too much, which increased the risk of injury if circulation was poor. The real lesson learned in the war wasn't about coating the foot, it was about managing moisture and pressure. Modern survival instructors still teach versions of this World War II boot hack. Not because it's nostalgic, but because it works when everything else fails. Even today, experienced cold-weather operators will tell you the same rule that World War II learned the hard way. Keep boots loose, keep feet dry, trap air, not sweat, and, well, if you're caught in a pinch, paper towels, cardboard, brown bags, just about anything dry and breathable can replace lost insulation in an emergency. Why do armies rarely talk about this? Well, this trick doesn't sell gear. It doesn't sound heroic. It sure doesn't fit recruitment posters. But, you see, war is not glamorous when it comes to survival. At the end of the day, knowledge mattered more than equipment. You know, what makes this World War II boot trick powerful isn't the paper, it's the mindset. Those lessons came at a terrible cost, but you know they left behind wisdom. Cold kills quietly. Survival speaks softly too. You don't need to fight a war to face winter danger. Nature still doesn't negotiate. Frostbite still doesn't announce itself. And honestly, gear still fails when it's needed most. Understanding old survival tricks isn't about living in the past. It's about carrying forward what worked when nothing else did. This World War II secret isn't romantic. It's practical. And one day it might be the difference between walking out and being carried. No medals were given for warm feet. No statues were built for dry socks. But countless soldiers kept marching because someone figured out the paper, air and circulation mattered more than brute layering. That quiet victory saved limbs. It saved lives. And it's still waiting to be remembered. If you value real survival knowledge pulled straight from history's hardest lessons, subscribe to War-Tested Survival. Share this story with someone who spends time in the cold. Because the smartest survival trick is the one you already know before you need it.